Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Tim and Tom's Film Nights, where our two elderly British gentlemen, myself, Timothy, and my good friend Thomas, gather around a warm fireplace to have a hearty debate about the latest film releases or classic favorites. Today, we decided to venture into the world of robots gone wild with the 2009 action-packed thriller Terminator Salvation, a film that has divided audiences and critics alike. Thomas, my dear friend, do you have any initial thoughts on this movie?
Timothy, old chap, always so dramatic. I'll start by saying I did enjoy the film. It had some decent action scenes and a few plot twists that caught me off guard. But overall, I don't think it really did justice to the original Terminator movies. What about you?
Well, Tom, I must admit, as someone who generally doesn't enjoy science fiction films, I found this one to be somewhat tolerable. The special effects were decent enough and the plot was relatively straightforward, but I think they could have done better with the character development. But let's not spoil the fun for our viewers, shall we?
Indeed, we wouldn't want to spoil anything for our viewers now, would we? So let's dive right into the plot of Terminator Salvation, shall we? The story takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where machines have taken over, leaving humanity on the brink of extinction. A resistance group led by John Connor is fighting against these Terminators, robotic killing machines programmed to eliminate all humans. Meanwhile, a young man named Marcus, played by the Hunger Games star Joshua Hutcherson, wakes up with no memory of his past life and finds himself in this bleak post-apocalyptic world. He eventually joins the resistance group led by John Connor, played by Christian Bale, who believes that Marcus has a crucial role to play in their fight against the machines. As they journey through the ruins of what once was America, Marcus and his newfound family face countless challenges while trying to uncover the truth about his past and their shared destiny. Along the way, they encounter familiar faces from previous Terminator films, including a new breed of Terminators known as the Hunter-Killer models, played by the legendary actor Robert Patrick. Now, Timothy, what did you think of the plot overall? Do you think it lived up to the standards set by the original Terminator movies?
Well, Thomas, as someone who hasn't seen many of the previous films in the franchise, I can only compare Terminator Salvation to other post-apocalyptic action flicks like Mad Max or The Road, which it does a decent job of emulating. The plot itself is fairly standard for the genre, but what sets this film apart is its exploration of themes such as sacrifice, redemption, and the consequences of technology gone too far. Additionally, I found it interesting to learn that director Mick used actual abandoned military bases and factories in the film's production design, giving the movie a truly post-apocalyptic vibe. Furthermore, the casting choices were also intriguing. Christian Bale's portrayal of John Connor was praised by some but criticized by others for deviating too much from the original character's portrayal in the first two films. Overall, while it may not be a masterpiece, Terminator Salvation does provide an entertaining and thought-provoking experience for fans of action movies and the Terminator franchise alike.
Now, Thomas?
Since you're more of a fan of science fiction films, what did you think about the film's portrayal of technology and its impact on society? Did it feel plausible to you, or did it cross over into the realm of fantasy?
Well, Timothy, as someone who generally enjoys a good science fiction film, I must say that Terminator Salvation does a decent job of depicting the potential consequences of unchecked technological advancement. While some aspects may seem far-fetched, such as Skynet becoming self-aware and launching nuclear missiles, the core idea of AI machines turning against their creators isn't entirely implausible given today's rapid pace of AI development. The film does a decent job of portraying the post-apocalyptic world, with ruined cities and vast deserts dominating the landscape. However, I do agree that some elements of the storyline, especially regarding John Connor's characterization, deviate from the original canon established in the first two films. But overall, as an action-packed science fiction thriller, Terminator Salvation does deliver on its promises. Now, Timothy, since you mentioned the acting performances, let's shift our focus to the cast and their portrayal of their characters. Firstly, Christian Bale's portrayal of John Connor has been a subject of controversy among fans. What are your thoughts on his performance compared to the previous actors who played this iconic role?
Well, Tom, I must admit that I'm not the biggest fan of Christian Bale's portrayal of John Connor in Terminator Salvation. While he did deliver a performance that was gritty and determined, it felt like he veered too far away from the more charismatic leader we saw in the first two films. However, I must also give credit where it's due.
Bale did bring a new level
of intensity to the role, which some viewers may appreciate. As for the rest of the cast, they all delivered solid performances, particularly Marcus, played by Joshua Hutcherson, who portrayed the character's confusion and fear convincingly throughout the film. Robert Patrick, as the hunter-killer Terminator, brought a chilling presence to the screen with his cold and unrelenting demeanor, adding another layer of danger to an already intense storyline. Overall, while there are some acting choices that may not please die-hard fans of the franchise, Terminator Salvation boasts a talented cast who deliver engaging performances that elevate the film's post-apocalyptic action-packed thrills to new heights. Now, Thomas, we've discussed the plot, the technology, and the acting performances in Terminator Salvation. But what about the cultural significance of this film? How has it influenced the science fiction genre or raised awareness about the potential dangers of AI and nuclear warfare?
Well, Timothy, Terminator Salvation does explore some important themes such as the dangers of unchecked technological advancement and the potential consequences of nuclear warfare. The film's depiction of a post-apocalyptic world, devastated by nuclear holocaust, serves as a stark reminder of the catastrophic impact that mankind can have on itself through carelessness or greed. Additionally, it raises questions about the moral implications of creating advanced AI systems and the need for human oversight to prevent them from turning against their creators. Furthermore, the film's portrayal of a resistance group fighting against seemingly insurmountable odds can be interpreted as a metaphor for real-life struggles against oppression and tyranny. In this way, Terminator Salvation not only provides an action-packed thriller, but also serves as a cautionary tale for our own time. However, some critics argue that the film's focus on action and spectacle comes at the expense of deep exploration of its themes. Some viewers might find the plot somewhat predictable, with familiar tropes from the franchise being rehashed without offering much new or original content. Additionally, some character development aspects, as I mentioned earlier, may disappoint die-hard fans of the franchise who were hoping for more faithful adaptations of the source material. But overall, Terminator Salvation has managed to carve out its own niche in the crowded science fiction action genre, thanks in part to its well-known franchise name and a star-studded cast. Despite its shortcomings, it does raise important questions about the direction we, as a species, are heading towards, and serves as a reminder of our collective responsibility in shaping the future we want for ourselves and generations to come.
Well, Thomas, it seems we've reached the end of our discussion about Terminator Salvation. While I still can't say that science fiction is my cup of tea, I do appreciate the film's exploration of themes such as sacrifice and redemption. The post-apocalyptic setting is well executed and the action sequences are quite thrilling. However, I do agree with you that some aspects of the plot may seem familiar to fans of the franchise. And John Connor's characterization in this film deviates from the original canon established in the first two films. As we wrap up our discussion today, let me just say that while Terminator Salvation might not be the masterpiece that some fans were hoping for, it does provide an entertaining and gripping experience for those who enjoy action movies and science fiction. So, Thomas, what are your final thoughts on this post-apocalyptic adventure?
Well, Timothy, I'm glad we could have a civilized discussion about Terminator Salvation, despite our differences in taste for the genre. As someone who enjoys a good science fiction action flick, I found this film to be a solid addition to the franchise. While it may not live up to the standards set by the first two films, it does have its moments of brilliance, particularly in the performances of Christian Bale and Robert Patrick as John Connor and the hunter-killer Terminator, respectively. The post-apocalyptic setting is well executed, and the themes of humanity's relationship with technology resonate more than ever before. In conclusion, while Terminator Salvation may not be perfect, it does deliver on its promises as an action-packed thriller that raises important questions about our future. So if you're a fan of the franchise, or just love yourself some good old-fashioned post-apocalyptic adventure, give this film a chance. And, let us know what you think in the comments section below. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends and fellow Terminator fans. Until next time, cheers!